Hey guys, Finlox here, back with our blind playthrough of Stasis. So last time we, look at the butt, that's great. So last time we were basically trying to figure out how to set up the surgery machine so that we could get our, is it PDT? Extracted from us, so that presumably we can go down this elevator. Now I do, or maybe through the force field. One of the two. Blood. Yeah. Although there's blood going past that as well. So I do have the walkthrough open in another tab. I can't see it right now, but we'll be using that if we have to. Yeah, I don't know, the whole sound thing. Oh, you put it on the chair. Okay, personal data tag detected Elizabeth Swanson. Force field off. Main medical deck entrance security door. Why are we hearing the advertisements? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the whole... I'd obviously prefer not to use the walkthrough, if at all possible, but... This game definitely... Wait. Oh. Right. But, like, this game doesn't seem to be as bad with the whole moon logic thing. Oh, but this force field's open. Cool. That was what I was wondering. And yet, I still don't want to get stuck on it for too long, and, my patience is a little on the thin side today. So, where am I? Right here. Okay. Okay, so discarded stasis pod. The pod looks like it hasn't been connected in quite some time. Empty stasis pod. Brings the saddest memories flooding back. Oh, I see. Right, it's in, that's what we were in before the, before we got opened or whatever. Torn apart door. Door is made from medium strength industrial compound but has been torn apart like paper. Broken stasis control terminal. Although the screen still looks functional, something's broken within, it won't work. Impossibly in the middle of all this slaughter, there is another survivor, clearly alive. His life signs seem normal. How aware is he of what has happened on board the Groom Lake? I don't know. The stasis pod is unoccupied but functional. And another one. The familiar stasis pod design is the harbinger of sadness. Alright, well, let's... Okay, it's displaying some chemical. Oh, see, that I don't like. I pull up an overlay and you have to move to the side of the screen.
Tia, a survivor.
Someone alive?
Not exactly. He's in stasis.
It can be dangerous to wake someone from stasis without the proper procedures being followed.
So who the hell woke me?
Forget him, John. You need to think about the mission.
Who the hell woke him? That's a great question. Unfortunately, I wish it was more of a, I don't know. The game is rough. It's very rough, because, like, apparently it's falling towards Neptune, and that's a issue, but it hasn't been addressed yet. They could have told us about what the dude, Dr. Kalam or whatever, wants. Okay, this is a different one. Why? I don't know. That was weird. Do I need to use something on that? I don't know why. That's very strange. You walked that way when I clicked on this, but that's like the weird pathing that happened the very old games. Okay, so I assume we're supposed to probably know these and put them together or memorize them or something, right? You can't just use your container on them. But yeah, I slept like 8 hours in the last 3 nights. My VA switched out my CPAP and for whatever reason it's shutting off whenever I'm trying to sleep, and so I'm like, okay. Legs. The femurs have buckled in opposite directions and have been ripped from their sockets. Okay. Storage tanks. Judging from their sturdy construction and warning labels, these tanks must contain hazardous materials. Storage crates. Crates and storage cubes of many different sizes sit haphazardly along the wall. Stasis pod chip. Human torso. Red lights cast long wicked shadows across the victim's face. Stasis pod command control module. Okay. Bloodstains. Crimson pools of blood have been spilled. Red lights. Crimson pools of blood have... okay. Strange, but okay. Let's click on the legs. I don't know what you do with those.
Another body. 2.
Oh, it's the PDA. Okay. Burke Carter. Be still, my beating heart. I saw the most divine creature in hydroponics. She's friends with that nurse Erica. Erica gives me the evil eye, but Sadie is just a divine thing. Curves in all the right places in the face of an angel. I keep trying to come up with reasons to visit the medicinal hydroponics section. She never sees me, though. I'm not trained medical staff. These soldiers in the recovery rooms give me funny looks if I'm at the window trying to get her attention. I have to find a way to speak to Sadie directly. I've seen her head to the decontamination room, and she seems to go there after every shift. I might try and strike up a conversation about one of the machines, maybe offer to buy her a drink. I'll do it tomorrow, or maybe the day after, because tomorrow I've got a double shift. Still, it takes a brave man to work on unknown sciences in the bosom of the cosmos, doesn't it? Like the jocks back at school would ever be able to do what I frickin' do. I risk life and limb to repair essential electronics, and that takes courage. I may not be a soldier, but I think I have the right to call myself a man of courage. So he's like a systems engineer? What's with the shutdown? Jesus, 9 days now? Been trying to get through to the surgical pods for a week. I gave up going to hydroponics to see Sadie after they started restricting access to unnecessary personnel. So now I just hang around product storage by the vending machines hoping to see her. But when I do, I just choke up. Damn, I'm so pathetic. I'm reading this book by Ariane Sanchez. It's about the eugenics wars. It's freaking amazing that we're even allowed to do what we do on the Groom Lake with what happened all those years ago. I have to hide the book, though. Dr. Milan, not Kalam or whatever. Dr. Milan saw me reading in the rec room and went totally apeshit. Threatened to burn the book and fire my ass. What was the book? Oh. So now it stays under my pillow and it sure as hell don't take it on my rounds. Instead I bring one of the Pangean series by W.C. Dark with me. Is that his real name? I doubt it. I love Major Plot Hole. Plot Hole? Okay. Plot Hole, but Plot Hole sounds cool. Sometimes I wish I had the balls to be in the Marines rather than engineering. I'd love to be like him. So presumably Dr. Milan is doing what was done back in the eugenics wars. That's why it's all crazy now. People using human-animal hybrids or whatever as troops. Rations arrived today. Nobody's is impressed. It's all emergency shit, so hardly gourmet, but man, I wasn't expecting much, but this is seriously bad. Because food's short, people are going bugfuck. Lotus punched Malone, broke the poor bastard's nose. Steve's having trouble keeping everyone's fists off each other. I keep asking why we can't just raid hydroponics, but they keep shouting me down, especially Sadie. She looks so pissed when she sees me, but nowhere near as pissed as when she looks at Dr. Milan and Dr. Alraj Cooper. She must despise me. Why didn't I just ask her out before? Because you're a coward, Burke. A dirty, stinking coward. I wonder if he's named after the Burke from Aliens. But, I assume Sadie, at this point, knows that the food's been contaminated. Right, so he's like, why can't we just raid hydroponics? And she's like, hydroponics is all contaminated, too. But she can't say that. The power went out again. I'm so freaking scared I could barely breathe. Those rumors of animals prowling around medical? Not rumors. I saw one got ripped apart by one of those things. Couldn't make it out too well. Pale skin, tails, I think? They move around like a pack of dogs, and they're strong. People are scared and hungry. I kept a small stash of food in my quarters. I didn't even tell Steve about it. I feel ashamed for keeping it to myself, but people are getting crazy, man. I think it might actually be against regulation to hoard food. Miglietta would kill me if he knew I had rations hidden. Come on, the guy's nuts. He practically strangled me the other day. Carswell had to restrain him. Body still friggin' kills from the operation earlier. Steve was nominated to reprogram the security turrets, and the guy just went and did it. He's a hero, not like me. Now I'm not just a coward, I'm a frickin' murderer. I use those poor bastards in Stasis to keep these god-awful things from getting to me. I just unlocked the Stasis units and began the recovery process, so when they staggered out of the deep freeze, those things were waiting for them. I found a product storage room nobody was using and locked myself in. When the breach was reported, I heard the screams. I pissed myself. I fucking pissed myself. Is that any way for a real man to behave? As I ran, I saw Sadie cradling her best friend's bloodied body in the corridor. Worst friggin' part is that it never occurred to me to stop. I just hope they'd buy me the time I need to find a hiding place. That's who Burke Carter was, whoever finds this. And I know someone will. He was a coward. I just hope the computer parts in this PDA come in handy to whoever finds this. If my hide was this useless in life, the least I can hope is that something I left behind will be useful. Well, so... presumably he unlocked, or... you know, undid us in Stasis to, as a sacrifice. But then, yeah, they broke in and got him anyway, so, alright. Okay. Oh. Oh, really? Okay, well, let's save right here, because I don't want to mess this one up. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, I don't know if I finished my thought earlier, but the VA gave me a new CPAP machine, and for whatever reason it shuts off when I'm sleeping. You know, I have insomnia as well as sleep apnea, so it's like I'll lay there for, you know, an hour or two, but never shuts off when I'm doing that, and so I don't know, it's, you know, but I wake up and it's off, and I'm like, I don't know why. Alright, so presumably there's 6 things, and we have to figure out the right dosage of each and all that crap. Okay, so... Okay, it's 1 strength, but for which piece? None of these seem to be highlighted, so... I don't know. Okay, head. 4. I don't know what the 2 is. But, yeah, okay, the one that looks like a little helicopter, I suppose. Okay, well there's 2. Oh, it's the number. Oh, alright. Oh. Okay. Three, but for what? I don't know. But we only have... 3 and 3, but again, for which? Takes his time walking. Okay. Okay, so we have 6 things. We have 1, 2... You going somewhere, Mr. Jack? See, this is weird. It's like, what is it? I'm gonna look at the guide. I could spend time messing around with it and trying to figure it out or whatever, but me. Alright, so I already got to the medical wing section on the thing. Scroll down. Okay, 4 stasis pods in the room, 2 on the left side, 2 on the right next to the broken, and 1 on the right side. 1 on the right next to the broken stasis. Okay, yeah. Well, these are easy to find. They have bright white lights. Except for the one that is next to the control terminal, has a human inside of it. Now you need to examine the stasis pods. It doesn't order what order. Clues to create a chemical mixture that will revive the survivor who is in stasis. Each stasis has a computer display that's showing chemical formula. Formulas have 1 of 5 dots. Syringe symbol with 1 to 4 bars. Graphical presentations of body parts. If you read the 2 PDAs and studied the attached notes, you'll find they had similar markings of chemical formulas. Oh, for crying out loud. I did kind of notice that. Let me... Okay, we're back. Yeah, see, this is the thing where I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if I have the patience for this.
No, it's one.
Okay, so right, four dots and four. The problem is it doesn't say what piece it is. It does make sense that it would be on this dude's PDA. Where was the other PDA? I don't know. It was probably one of the two that all the blood and stuff came from. Okay, go to the broken stasis control terminal, use this chip on it, computer come to life, you can operate, presentation of a human body, 6 segments, left and right. You have clues for 5 segments, 3 from stasis pods and 2 from the PDAs. If you don't remember them or didn't take notes, go back and review them. Yeah, okay. Try to enter all data. There are only 5 clues, 6 segments. You need to guess the last one. In theory, you could guess them all, but that would be extremely difficult considering how many possible combinations there are. Below the 6 selectors is a button you need to push when everything is correct. Yep. See, and he's showing us the screenshots here of the clues. Obviously, the one with the head circled makes sense, but the other 2, where it's like the person with their arms out and then the person with their arms at their side, it's like, what body part is that? In case you can't interpret the clues, or despite your best efforts, nothing seems to happen here. The correct combinations. Numbers indicate dosage and number of dots for the chemical formula. Okay. 421315332244. Okay, well, I would imagine that it'll probably be similar to what happened last time where it had issues. Okay, 4-2. I think it was 1-3. Crap, I don't remember. Four two 1-3 1-5 3-3 2-2 4-4. 1-5. And I think it's 2-2. Oh, interesting. That only goes 3. Oh, is it 3-3 and...
Steady yourself. You'll be okay. God damn.
I heard screaming.
Woke him up. The survivor. He didn't make it. I think I killed him. I think I did something.
I told you to leave him. He was dead the minute they froze him. You just made his death easier, simpler.
I just killed a man, Tia.
You need to move before you become another dead body.
Have mercy.
Mercy? You have no idea how much mercy I have. I've been in hell. Made choices that got people killed. This isn't just like you anymore. I'm sorry. I need you, John.
You know, again, the problem is, I'm pretty sure we could take the, What was the point of that?
This isn't gonna work.
Oh, okay. Dead occupant. The pale face is contorted into a horrific grimace. Yeah, what was the point in doing this?
This isn't gonna work.
Okay.
Probably not a good idea.
Okay, anyway, though, their little touching moment, or this whole scene in general, is just like... There's been very little character development, and I don't... I kind of feel for John. I kind of feel for him because he lost his wife and daughter. I mean, he doesn't know their fate yet, but he's in a messed up place. We're trying to figure out what's going on. But it's like Taya, whatever. It's like I don't know her. I don't trust her. She's probably a liar. I don't think either her or Milan are on my side. It's very strange. You know, I mean, I could see John having, like, you know, he's tired, he's stressed out, he woke up from one of these things, he was in, you know, heart failure and all that stuff, and he's seeing all this horrible stuff. He's sick, he's tired, he's worn out. I get it, seeing this is probably going to make him break down or whatever, but, you know, in the meantime, I'm like trying to click on everything to figure out what's going on. There's a disconnect between the puzzle solving and the mood. I don't know. I don't know what was the point of that. So I'm pulling up the guide again. When the fate of the survivor is known, you can interact with the environment. There is cryopreservation liquid on the floor. Oh, that little blood puddle? Okay. Use a full stasis fluid container. Exit the stasis chamber. Enter the surgery room. You have everything. Cryopreservation fluid. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I mean, I saw it and I was like, blood. Well, okay, whatever. But I assumed you got it from the tank, not from the floor. I don't know why I didn't think about the floor. This thick, viscous syrup is a cocktail of cryoprotectant and synthetic amniotic fluids. Okay. So according to the guide, oh, that was the point, yeah. We just needed that stuff. According to the guide, we have everything. Oh, I wonder... It says doesn't fit, but I wonder if I could use the, well, that's cables, not tubing.
This should be useful.
Oh, really? See, again. Like... I thought it was tubing. I didn't realize... It's like, oh, it's not gonna fit, but... I thought I'd hook up the tube to that and then... You know, whatever. I didn't realize I was gonna wrap the cable on it and do that. Like, that doesn't... Okay.
Medtech surgical pot is not properly prepared for the selected program.
Okay, so I don't know what is this? Anesthetic? In a surgery suite, at least one of these would be anesthetic. Your guess is that it's this one. Indeed. Cryopreservation.
Medtech surgical pot is not properly prepared for the selected program.
Okay.
The organic matter receptacle requires refined biological tissue.
Yeah, okay, I tried that once before. Refined. Let's see what the... Okay. Alright. You have everything needed. You only need to make preparations. First, take the body part and put it on the surgical tray where you took the PDT from. Use the empty pistol on the surgical tray to get refined organic material. What? Okay. See, this, even when it tells me what to do, it doesn't make sense. I'm like... And then I use the pistol on it? Refined. That's what it means by refined. Just ground up. Okay. I get it, but yeah. Okay, but there's already someone there, so let me... I guess we'll save again. We'll save over this. I assume he's gonna, like, pull him off. There you go.
You're going to have to be awake for this.
You're not helping.
Sorry. Okay. Just... shit. Even be careful doesn't cover it.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. It's not like the power's gonna cut out in the middle of surgery.
Shit, John. Why would you even say that?
I'm about to cut into my spinal cord. I'm allowed one joke.
I'll be monitoring.
Deep breath, oh man. You can do this.
Does that mean he's dead? Well, it's loading, so I assume he's not. Assume he's alive still.
Greetings, John and Archer. I am Robin, the automated surgical med pod. Your physician will explain the procedure to you and offer you an opportunity to ask any questions. You may feel some discomfort after the procedure, such as a headache or nausea. Let your nurse know if you are uncomfortable so that you may be given medication and or other treatment. Head-free placement begins. Warning, subject is not correctly prepared.
Okay. Am I supposed to hit buttons? I am supposed to hit buttons. Oh, come on. Do I click on these? Or is the red one bad, like a lobotomy or something? Oh, I can't hit the escape button. So I'm pulling up the guide because I figure all of these are horrible. Like, there's probably one correct answer. Okay, when you click on the surgical pod, a short conversation follows. Made some preparations. You need to operate the console to complete the surgery. First part is very straightforward. Monitor, which has 7 buttons for different stages. Simply need to push the one that has the red color. Then the surgical pod performs an action. A different button will have the red color. You need to push that and so on. At this stage, you can't even push any wrong buttons. Oh, at this stage, huh? case you want to know which button does what before trying. No, I'm cool. Next thing you need to do is operate the equipment, so remove the PDT. Well, 7 nodes which need to be pushed in the right order. Doing this in an incorrect order will have you killed, but if that happens, you have an option to go to main menu or continue in the middle. Do this as trial and error. Look at the green display. You see it flashing the correct order. Oh. Okay. To make this more difficult, once you push the first button, the display goes black or shows some flickering, so the right image is flashing only for a couple seconds at a time. There's a time limit. Okay, even better. Well, okay, we'll try that. Hey, Jack. All right, so it's funny because I didn't want to push the red. You think? Oh, do I?
Surgery program 0415 initiated.
I mean, I get it. So, first off, if he was conscious, he'd pass out. But there's anesthetic. It's kind of funny.
Hazard core system. Power and core system.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Warning, subject is not correctly prepared.
Which one's 3? This one? Jack, do not jump up here right now. Well, I know that's 5, and then 6.
Surgery complete. Subject is deceased. Alive. Deceased. Alive. Program terminated. Have a nice day.
Oh, there's one of those things. It's... What's bad is, like, I can't even really tell what the hell's going on because it's so dark and the colors all blend together. Oh, it's eating the body. I figured that's what it was gonna do. I see you, mister. Oh my gosh, you're so cute.
Rebecca. No. Rebecca. Run. No. Rebecca. Run. No. Rebecca. Run.
So...
I'm here.
I've been trying to contact you. I couldn't hear anything. I thought the worst.
How long was I out?
2 hours.
So they give him anesthetic after so he passes out, but not during?
Okay. Alive. Mostly. But fuck, my back is sore.
3 decks and you'll see your daughter. Focus on that. You should have enough drugs running through you to keep going for a few more hours.
Drugs. I've never been a fan. But these are definitely the good ones.
Yeah, okay. You are so cute, Mr. Jack. Again, it was a horror action scene. You know what I mean? The tone doesn't work for me. It's like literally there's a heartbeat. It's like pounding. It's like dun 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 dun. It's like, you know, when your adrenaline's going and stuff, that blocks. Let me. It's like the fight or flight response, but it's when you're in fight mode, you're not in flight mode. You know, so that's kind of how I feel about this right now. I'm like, I mean, I understand they're trying to go for the dead space, but because this was very much like the thing with the eye, the needle in the eye, and I hated that part because it's like, oh, it's creepy the first time, but then it becomes really frustrating because you miss it. And I think you don't start right there. I think you have to get to it, like through monsters and stuff. And then, yeah, it just becomes frustrating if you don't get it on the first try. So, all right, short scene. Go to the left. Go left again. Come back to the elevator room. Okay, right. So I wanted to look at this at the guide because we have the PDT in our hand. You're so cute, Mr. Jack. Is he walking slower than before? All right, Jack, you are super adorable. Also, the body is still there. Can I run? Nope. You're at limp. You're in limp mode. It's funny too because the controls are basically designed for the person in the surgery. Like, realistically, it kind of breaks the bounds of realism. It's like, I get it. It's scary doing it that way. You are a crazy man, and Harry. I need to vacuum or something. What are you doing? But realistically, the person on the bed would not, especially if it was like robot operated, you wouldn't be able to reach the controls. You're so good. So that's the elevator noise, I guess. Okay. Oh my. Oh my. Well, is your...
A biological quarantine has been initiated.
Well, good. It only took 3 months.
Level 2. Kitchen knife and snowflake are off limits.
Failure. Integrity compromised and failed passive systems.
Level 3. Hydroponics is off limits.
Is he bleeding?
Perfect.
Where are you, John? Without the PDT, I can't track shit.
Hydroponics. Well, what's left of hydroponics? The shaft's covered in growth. I'm not going anywhere.
Listen, wait. Let me check the blueprints. Yes, hydroponics has a service elevator.
Affirmative.
Keep me in the loop.
So I guess, maybe since it's not connected, it's No, I was gonna say since it's not connected to him, it doesn't work anymore, but that's not true because we found the other one earlier and that worked. So it is reading. So the fact that it's not in him doesn't make any sense. Anyway, whatever. Also, I expect it to be like fleshy growth, you know? Because they talked about the alien fungus or whatever. This doorway's bright lighting indicates the entrance to another laboratory. Corpse, Edwin Tiong, civilian, security level 0. The creeping growth on this level has upholstered the drab surface in an almost comforting fabric of green. Okay, well, which way do we go? Let's try left. Oh wait, we can go to the right too? Let's go to the right then. Or lower right. Oxygen collection tank. A soft mechanical inhalation sound is audible here while the tank collects oxygen produced by the room's abundant plant life. Overgrown seedlings. Sprouts in this planter have surged forth, straining to reach the hydroponic lights above. Gentle hiss indicates the oxygen collection tank continues to cycle. Chris Rogers, helmsman, Groon Lake Calm, security level 1. Thick vine. A growth agent has spurred this section of vine to flourish. It's now half as thick around as the hatch you entered through. Tree. This tree is a perfect example of a species that have been gene-tailored for generations to grow perfectly in hydroponic environments on vessels, lunar stations, and asteroid mining settlements. Insect swarm. The insects swarm in great clusters, their bodies luminous like fireflies. So what are they and where did they come from? Are they hostile? Collapsed bridge. The floor here grew steadily, wrapping its limbs around the catwalk. Slowly but inexorably, the flora pulled the metallic structure until it collapsed. Let's see. Overgrown hanging vine. The hanging vine stretches across the room, its tendrils hanging down like a centipede's legs. You can't tell whether it's wrapped around an existing structure or whether it's traveled the distance on its own accord. Okay, a tank to collect the oxygen produced by the bountiful fauna in hydroponics. The fan spins sluggishly as the vines through the gap in the blades have begun to wrap around it. Observation platform. The observation point towers above the growth pods, providing an incredible view of the lush Eden below. Charles A. Young, security, Kane Sec, security level 1. Jim Taylor, security level 2. This fan's constant spin sends a heady blend of botanical scents through the room. It's fast. Yep, okay. And we can go down to the right also. Let's click on the oxygen collection tank. See what that does.
Oxygen levels increasing.
Is that what we want? Okay. And yeah, okay. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that he died from them because I was like, are they hostile? But, I don't know. It's kind of disappointing it happened so fast. Whatever. Ugh. Okay. Sure, we'll save over this. Let's check out one of the other rooms, or the other rooms. So, okay, so actually that means we can't go down to the right. I mean, we can go into that room and we can interact with the first tank, but you can't go any farther than that. You cannot go to the lower right exit in that room. Not yet, at least. Okay.
This is ridiculous. How did it grow this world in a few months?
How indeed. Locked doors, that's good. Overgrowth.
These plants can't naturally develop this fast.
Kane developed the technology to accelerate plant growth. Oxygen is big business.
I imagine it would be. Door appears to be locked. Network of green veins snake across every surface. How many corpses are here? Keita Yamada, civilian liaison, security level 1. James Herbert, deckhand, security level 0. Okay. Overgrowth. Vines have covered many of the laboratory surfaces. In some areas, the wall and floor can't be seen behind the tangled weave. Static-filled monitor. Another monitor displaying the vessel's favorite show, static. And that's another thing, right? Sometimes I hover over it and the little text at the bottom doesn't appear, and then I have to go away and come back and it does. So, okay, we have a computer, a small work desk. Vaporizer pad. An evaluation platform for specimens and samples to be inserted into the glass chamber. Vaporizer has been punctured by a hole, leaving a spiderweb of cracks in the glass. Okay. Air is filled with a distinctive jungle scent. Plants are producing odors that are sweet, creamy, and seductive in equal measure. The surprisingly pleasant aroma of the undergrowth is kept in check by the hardworking fans. Vaporizer lies broken beyond repair, wrapped in vines. Wrestled from their upright position, the vaporization chambers are now resting idly on the floor. Okay, so we have 2 computer terminals. We have a couple of minutes to check those out, so let's do so. The Vaporizer. The Vaporizer, the perfected model Mark V of the Kane Corporation Trans-State Modifier. Using advanced unique molecularization technology, Vaporizer has the ability to shift a targeted substance between a gas, liquid, and solid states without any of the structural breakdown seen in objects shifted between states on a regular basis. Interesting. Mark V is the latest model, but hasn't yet been rolled into mass production because of the current difficulty fueling the Vaporizer with resources on board the Groom Lake. Recent experiments undertaken were more than satisfactory, and it passed the Kane safety and security test with no adverse effects, causing harm to the user observed. So it didn't harm the user. It has been graded level 4 because of the specific nature of its technology and the limited quantity of existing vaporizers. During an experiment recently carried out on the royal jelly produced by hydroponics, royal jelly is honey. Dr. Gray and other observers commented on the remarkable speed at which the jelly was transformed into gas, thus placating their insect population. Oh, so those are bees? They're not flies?
Vaporizer chamber compromised. Chamber is not airtight.
Huh, am I gonna have to make it airtight? Dr. Sebastian Gray. Finally, we have more room for the Linnesi Harvey strain, which I've been working on so hard. It's days like this humanity truly proves why it crawled out of the ocean before any other. My section has been expanded. I have more staff, true, but they are drones and have little other function. Now we can expand the research potential of Project Kitchen Knife and see what else the plants can yield. The oxygen production rate is quite unlike anything my initial projections could have predicted. Last year it became the worst kept secret on the Groom Lake, and all of a sudden I had more interns than I could comfortably employ. Their only function is to stumble about the place and ask troublesome questions that I have little time to answer. If only our world was more like that of insects. I have plenty of workers and drones, but none of the unwavering loyalty. Bees work and work, the faith in their queen unquestioning and constant. That kind of loyalty is beyond price. These interns of mine have their uses, I suppose. We always need volunteers willing to get close to the queen. So the thing about bees and nature in general, and the reason our society is the society of like mutual respect and earned loyalty, allegedly, is that, everyone, whenever anyone envisions a world, a world where tyranny is imposed on the populace, they always dream of themselves being the tyrant, right? Whenever anyone, wants, communism or socialism or whatever, they're always like, oh yeah, I would be the poet. Like, no one ever thinks that they're going to be the one digging the ditches or lined up against the wall and shot. You know what I mean? No one ever thinks that. But anyway, that's why society is falling apart, because people don't understand you could be on the bottom. You're envisioning a world in which you're on the top and you're voting in that direction, but you could be on the bottom. Am I surrounded by incompetence? One of those imbecilic interns got too close to the Queen and she showed him her affection. Quite amusing, though not to him. This means I must attend another accident debriefing with the board, though Dr. Milan does love to test me. I see him up on the hearing bench and he grins at me in that supercilious look he has perfected over the years. Like talking about the Queen of the Bees. I have him to thank for my current position. It was his recommendation to the board that made them hire me in the first place. Still, I believe he has come to enjoy these little power plays. He does so like to keep me under his heel. That, my dear doctor, is only a temporary situation. Once this project is complete, the chess games we play so often will no longer be our only battleground. Regarding the project, some of the bug eggs failed to hatch properly. I suspect this is why the Queen was more aggressive than usual. There are more than enough drones to continue the collection work. Their unique chemical properties are doing wonders for the plants, although I'm running short of interns prepared to work in close proximity to them since the last incident. The worker I appreciate the most is Akiza. I was astonished to discover she is related to legendary Dr. Tenshu of the Eugenics Wars. I did consider mentioning it to her, but I sense she is oddly ashamed to have him as her ancestor. If it wasn't for men like him, our profession would be a hollow shell of what it is now. Then again, if it wasn't for him, genetic research wouldn't have been put back by several generations, now would it? The ethical quandaries we face as men of science, yeah. I'll finish this and then we'll stop for the day. The insects are restless. They rumble in their apiaries and are more aggressive than usual. My personal deduction is the presence of the marine thugs aboard the ship are the cause. Armed guards all over the place. I was stopped by one the other day and asked my reasons for going into hydroponics. Well, after explaining I was the head of the damn project, I had the guard removed from his post and then the ship. This is insanity. How am I expected to progress with those thugs around? That Marine got lucky. I recall complaining about the inundation of interns. If only they were still here now. Both Ivan and Theodore disappeared from the rooms last night, and I've had to speak to security about their whereabouts. They were Akiza's assistants, and now the production of the Queen's royal jelly has slowed exponentially. That's been a huge blow, but a rather extraordinary anomaly has appeared in our growth pods. A hitherto undiscovered strain of fungus. Its origin is something of a mystery to me. These fungal growths fascinate. At first, I thought it was a common garden variety mold, but after a substantial analysis performed by Akiza, it seems to harbor neuron activity. That is to say, it seems to exhibit rudimentary signs of intelligence. It's like a hive mind, presumably. We've certainly created some unusual species on this deck, but the idea of a quasi-intelligent fungus growing and evolving of its own volition is exciting and frankly frightening. I've asked Akiza and the remnants of her team to cultivate it, but exhibit caution in where it is spread. I was asked by one of Dr. Milan's assistants if the fungal substance discovered growing in the bowels of the ship had anything to do with us. I lied, of course, but this is becoming alarming. Our experiments flourished at first. We may have lost more staff recently, but our experiments have been very fruitful indeed. Confidentially, the properties of the fungus are both extraordinary and terrifying. It has the remarkable ability to take control of a living subject's central nervous system and hypothalamus, as observed in the monkey we used for testing. Ah, like the cordyceps. The monkey shrieked and thrashed in rage for the first few days after it was exposed, and then it became quiet, observant, and uncannily intelligent. It's certainly aggressive, but then again, which viruses aren't? So this is what's taking over the ship and probably over Dr. Milan? And maybe Taya, right? You think it's like two different strains of the fungus fighting each other? No, 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 we've officially lost control of the deck. Eden now truly belongs to the beasts. We've seen strange things. I watched as the fungus took control of the deck as it spread through the staff. And much to my shame, I watched their deaths and examined their bodies. Nobody can cross the pods because the bugs are so aggressive that when Solomon went through in a rad suit, they stripped it from his body and stung him to death. It took mere moments. Still, I live in the hope the insects will remember me, their creator, and perhaps see me as one of their own. I would say it probably was not successful. There was a corpse there, I believe. Sebastian Gray. We could find out in a second. Okay, from Dr. Tenshu to Dr. Gray. Dr. Gray, I do not wish to seem unprofessional or impolite. I would ask you not press me on the subject of my ancestry any further. I was nearly refused entry to medical school on the basis of my family's background, and the torment I suffered at the hands of my school peers regarding my great-great-uncle was unbearable. I'm fully aware of his actions. I've seen countless photographs and documents of the consequences of his work. I took this position to change our world for the better, not to be reminded of the skeletons in my family's closet. I've enjoyed our working relationship thus far, Dr. Gray, but I prefer my family history to no longer be a topic of our conversations. Thank you for understanding. Dr. Gray, I enjoyed our meal yesterday. It was refreshing to hear a man so outspoken on the ship. I appreciate your candor, and I do agree it's perhaps time the board was shaken up a little. Although this is merely an observation rather than an action plan, I think the top leadership needs some new blood. I'd second you if you decide to take on the challenge yourself. Your impeccable scientific pedigree more than qualifies you. By the way, did you know where they were keeping that new cargo? It seems rather like a waste of resources if they won't even tell us where it is. Huh. Alright, let's run back this way, and we're walking normally now, so that's good. We're gonna have to do something with this, perhaps aerosolize some honey, so that way we smell like... maybe we smell like the queen or something, and then we can walk through. I want to see... yes, this body. Corpse. Chris Rogers, helmsman. No, where is Gray then? Was he one of the guys up top? Probably not. Let's find out. Young. Jim Taylor. Okay, let's save right here. Yeah, the game is interesting. It's not perfect. It is very rough in some places. But it tries. I don't know, the Metacritic score was like, it was like a 6 or 7 out of 10, which that's probably about what I'd give it so far. You know, I knew what they were trying with the surgery section, and that's another thing, right? Is I was so focused on like trying to see the stuff that I couldn't look at what was happening. You know, it's like they spend all this time animating the dissection of your dude's back, but you can't look at it because you're basically timed, right? So, anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. I really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. As always, guys, questions, comments, concerns, good, bad, or indifferent, let me hear them. I do try and read all of them. I do try and respond to all of them. What is your guys' unique positive moment for today? For me, I mean, I mentioned the CPAP. I guess I would say that's a positive, the new one, even though I'm sleeping like 2 hours a night now. But the positive, I guess, is that I looked into it and maybe... I mean, I tried contacting the VA, of course, but they have like 3 days to get back to me, and it's a weekend now, and so they're not going to get back to me till Monday at least. But there's like an auto stop thing where it detects if you've taken your mask off, and so there might be a leak or something when I sleep, and it might be thinking that, oh, you took your mask off, and so it shuts off, and that would make sense. So we'll see. I'll experiment on myself again tonight, and if it doesn't work, then I'll just then I still have the old one, so I'll just pull that back out because I'm not, you know, Anyway, that's sort of a unique puzzle moment. I do have the backup still. I have my old one as backup, and that is important. So yeah. That's my unique puzzle moment. Hopefully your guys are just as good, if not better. Hopefully better, of course. And I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.